Alright guys, you know what time it is. The grind never stops. I'm out here with my man, Shy.
Sayers, you feel me?
We plotting, we scheming, we advising the future for ourselves.
I'ma put on for my city, ayy. I'ma put on for my state.
10 a.m. Vision here on the set of Kamikaze by Hunt and Vans. Right now we're setting up some of the lights and the fog machine. Thank you, man.
Do you edit it like that, or is the camera like that nice? Like a music video regularly?
Yeah, it's a good camera. I love it. And adding some like lumetri color editing, light stuff. It's basically playing with a camera is essentially a paintbrush of light, and depending on how you set the settings, you can manipulate them quite a lot, and like add different textures and kind of colors to it, make things pop more and reduce other things and things like that. So it definitely kind of like brightened up. Like I just had been grinding for 6 hours, so I had like not a great face and like acne and just shit going on, and I like made it so my skin was like lighter and stuff and not like all red and shit. So
my shit, I got like 4 hours of sleep these past 2 days and shit. This is just doing everything, getting footage and all of that, editing. It's lit though.
what do you do?
I'm just vlogging right now, and then I'm gonna be making the music and showing like covers or whatever. I don't know, just making music, dancing and shit too, and everything for the YouTube.
Creating.
I guess, yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
What has been your biggest joy from creating?
With the camera or
Whatever. Yeah.
people, like just seeing everybody smile, or like the expressions I get, yeah, just seeing everybody happy and shit from what all the talents that I could do.
Yeah, with the camera, and especially if you can actually show real talent outside of the camera, it's like you're just like a beacon, and that camera can just really capture that.
Capture exactly. I feel like I needed to like, I do too much not to like show the world, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like
Most definitely, bro. For real. Tell me a little bit about Shy.
like when I was young, I remember everything since I was like 2. I remember crying. It's very crazy. I feel like it was because I had big moments in my life happen, so I started remembering young. But like I was up in the hood, so I had a lot of crazy things happen to me when I was younger. So
Do you remember many things since you were 2?
yeah.
Wow.
I remember a lot, and it's crazy. I think it's just the big events, like big events. I can remember certain things, but like 3 or 4 of my nana, she told me that she told me Michael Jackson, and that was my idol. That's how I first got into music and all that. Seeing him dance and all that, like I think that was my first like words. Like I couldn't talk, but I like recognized it on the screen, and I bought something and shit from my parents' TV or my auntie's.
You bought it from there?
I bought it on the Comcast thing or whatever. And so my brother got in trouble for because he was older, so he could read and all that. So they blamed it on him, and he was like, "Wait, you love Michael Jackson? Was that you?" And I was like,
I just needed it.
I couldn't even talk yet. And then so as time went on, I wrote my first song, and I was like, I've always been around music. I was saying some ad-libs and shit up in the studio, like their dad, my sibling's father, he was always doing music, he was an artist, and so I did like ad-libs. He had me in there trying to sing or rap or whatever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so when I got older, it was probably like 5 or 6, I wrote a song, and I showed it to my cousins. I didn't think, I was just playing around and stuff. It was like I was young. I showed it to them, and they're like, "Whoa, that was really good."
Really?
And that's when I was like, all right, let's move. And then that's when I started dancing. adding that onto the singing and stuff. That's when like everybody in the family like knew I had something, and so I just kept going after all things like. And then I'm a very diverse person. Like how I grew up, like where I was at, I didn't feel like I had that option to like sing because it was like a weakness where I was from and shit.
Right.
So like at the age of 6, like that's when I smoked weed at the age of 6.
Mm.
So I never wanted to do like.
I see
I
why
feel
you
like
waited. Yeah.
I had my mindset at a young age, like a grown like mindset.
What was that like?
I don't know. I've hanged out with a lot of older people, and I was just a youngin', so I just like
Were they like
watched around and
13,
soaked
14?
everything. Yeah, I soaked everything in. I just wanted to be like my older surroundings and
Yeah.
shit. So yeah, they were like stealing from CVS, all of that. It was
Just hooligan shit.
exactly. And so we was doing that, and then my cousin, he introduced me to like Chris Brown, and he was the other person, and I was like, he's like Michael Jackson. And so that's when I got both of them. I would just study them. I just danced and I sing. I did all that all the time, like all the damn time. And so that's he really
Just kind
Oh,
of rocking out.
Yeah, he was a very big part of my life. He showed me him and my older brother. They introduced me to basketball, and like that's why I played basketball and shit for a majority of my life, my whole life. I've done a lot. I do a lot still, and it's because of them. And he ended up dying he got shot up in September in the beginning of the school year. And that ruined me. It ruined me. I couldn't believe it because like we had so much plan. He was like my biggest motivation. Like every time I was with him, he was so positive. He made you feel like you could do things like nobody could. Like he just like, hey, you got this. When I thought he just worked me so hard. We worked out and all that. I was a baby. He was working me out, playing basketball.
He was older. Your older brother?
Yeah, he was my older cousin.
Older cousin.
And so like he was having me play kids 1-on-2. I was winning. I was different. He made me a different person. Like above. Like I worked really hard and it felt easy because of how he was pushing me. And every time I was with him, he was always saying, "You're gonna be something. He like the way you were around him, you're just smiling positive all the time. He just showed me so many different things. So losing him was like very, very crazy. 2018 had to be like my worst year. Like a couple months after that, probably like 1 or 2, my papa died after my mom's dad. He died of cancer and shit. So I was just feeling this smut. Almost like everything. I stopped playing basketball this year just so I could focus on music. To get real. This whole year 2019 dedicated for my cousin. I gotta put on for him because I feel like he was definitely supposed to be like the reasoning. He was supposed to be standing, at the Grammys, whatever, doing like if that happened. He was the reasoning that I do what I do.
He's there with you.
Yeah. I feel like I'm a very different like person. Just like I don't know. It sounds weird saying that, but like middle school.
Speculate. You watch the world rather than kind of almost exist in it.
Yeah.
Does that seem like that fits what you're trying to describe?
Yeah. The way you said it. Yeah. Middle school, 8th grade, and stuff like that. I was already like. I was waking up at 4 in the morning to go like play basketball and stuff in school before school started. I was doing all of that. I feel like I've just been taught differently. I don't know. I like had a grind in me at a young age, so I've always just worked really hard.
Yeah, I think part of it is inbred in you, and kind of within, and part of it is influence and what you kind of suscept yourself to. I know I never got up early, but when I found what I thought was going to achieve fulfillment, if you will, penultimate happiness, whatever you want to call it, I ended up getting myself to the gym. I wake up and it makes the internet world a little more real.
Yeah, exactly. I started keeping it myself, like, probably That's another thing. Like
Vlogging, right, bro? That's just like the opposite. It's like, hey guys, we're here. Like, I want to just talk to you and be like, what's up? But I have to also be like, I'm doing things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I'm okay. I don't know why. I think it's because like the hardship I been through, but like me just saying like the pain or like if like yeah just some pain shit. Like if I was stressed and stuff, I need to get something out. If I could just say it, it makes me feel better for some reason. And so like
Like what you're feeling.
yeah. So I don't care. I don't really care. I'm a human being. Like if I'm going through some shit, I don't care if you see it. Like it's not no sign of weakness. You could try me, see if I'm weak.
Right back.
Like yeah, that's just how I am. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's best that way. Like when people hold things back, it just comes out some way.
Exactly.
It becomes more concentrated.
Yeah.
And then you don't know. Like at least when it comes out the way in which your mind initially thinks of it, it's natural. It drives me.
What does drive you?
My Jeep outside. My Grand Cherokee. Knowing I'm doing good work, like I don't really want to be famous, you know, like I would really much rather be doing good work that connects my heart, my soul, and my mind, because that's like some of the best feeling. You know, like I want to be selfish so I can be there for my family in the future.
Exactly.
Like I want to be selfish so that I can be my best self and say, hey, I want to do these things and I'm gonna do these things so that I can provide the things for myself that attract someone I want to be attracted to, so that we can make more little like awesome.
Exactly. That's what I feel like. Like I've always known what I wanted to do from a super young age. So that's why now and stuff like everything, I will cut somebody off like that, and I will never say a word to them again so quick. And I think it's weird. Like people like I think
People stay with people too long if it's like not good.
I would
relationship or like guy friend type
exactly like if I feel like you're not like on the same like journey, that if you're not trying to work or support or like if you're not there in a positive way, then I just let them go. I don't got nothing to say. I like really my mind. I'll forget about you. I'll really forget about you.
Your mind like tells you what you're supposed to care about, like, which sounds obvious, but like I'll forget the guy who I talked to at Lifetime's name and have to ask it like 4 times. Who like is the nice like set your towel up guy, and I'm like, you know, that's just
I'm scared.
Kind of a sign. Like I'll be like, "What's up, dude? What's up, bro?" It's not like Caleb, Colin. Like, what's up? It's actually Colin, and I'm like, I fuck with you. I know everything about you, but I don't know your name.
Like people like school and shit, like a lot of I don't know, like 97% of people, and people like come up to me, they know my name, all that shit, and then they get mad if I don't know the name. I'm like, you've heard something about me or something. I haven't, like, I like to meet people like this in an introduction way, like, hey, what's your name? You've never done that with me. How am I supposed to just know your name off the bat? So I be really hating that, but they try to get mad, like, it's not my fault. It's not my fault.
No, it's nobody's fault, really. It's just
exactly. Like we just need to have an introduction with me. Come and talk to me. Like, that's another thing. I don't judge a soul. I'm cool with everybody. I have so many different groups of people. Like, I don't judge anybody at all. I feel like it's about people's mindsets. I don't get how people could give up if you really had something that you really wanted.
Something that let me know, because Gary Vee talked about like a 3-year rule, a 5-year rule, 5-year plan. Like do something hard for 3 years. And it was a little discouraging. Like, I'm like, oh shit. Like, you said I'm doing really great. But like, I don't know, have you...
To yourself?
Like, yeah, like you say I'm really great, but like, I don't feel like I'm perfect, and I want to be perfect. I want to do everything that like I know I'm capable of, and like push myself to that perfect amount of just enough sleep, you know, but I can also still do things and like just enough coffee where I'm not like abusing caffeine, but I'm also like benefiting from it, you know, and like optimize myself. I'm building a brand.
Yeah, that's why that's like with this YouTube. That's when I just like found out and gardening. Yeah, like reading his book, like that's the name, the number one
Gary
thing.
V.
Gary.
Gary
V. Garth.
V. Garth.
I keep
Sounds
putting
like
both of them
Garth.
together.
Sounds like Garth.
Reading his book made me realize that giving yourself a brand name is the number one thing.
Mm.
Like you gotta build off of like yourself basically. And I didn't like understand what that meant at first until I started reading this book. I'm only like on page 14 or 2.
Yeah,
Like, he's
okay,
really-
you have a pass for not knowing his name. I was like, you're reading this book, you don't know this guy's name? You're slacking, bro. You just don't even read the cover. You just get to the first page, like, alright, bet.
I liked his how he was talking to Russ. I like Russ's mindset hella.
Russ?
Too. Like I like being able to meet him. I fuck because he works hard, bro. It took him 10 years or whatever on sign, but like I fuck with
On
that.
Sound Club, you 10
Yeah.
years? Wow. You got to meet him too. That's lit.
Yeah,
What did he instill in you, or what did you get out of interacting?
that hard work. Like him talking to Garvey. Is it Garvey? Is Garvey?
Gary.
Gary. Oh my god, it just sounds.
It's
so
Gary Vaynerchuk, but he has a really weird, like, Russian
Latin,
name.
yeah,
It's
yeah, that was-
Vaynerchuk.
Damn, I forgot who I was talking about. Oh, him
Like what
talking
Gary
to
said.
Russ. Yeah, him talking
Garvey.
to Russ, and then Russ was just saying like your mindset. You got to know like you got to know. Basically, you got to have that real confidence installed. And you got to your destiny basically.
Mm.
That's why I got that title. You got to know your destiny.
I'm a writer. First and foremost, I've been doing screenwriting for the past couple years.
Bro.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've always been an ideas guy. Like when I was younger, I always had these ideas for things. My mom was into advertising a lot. And my dad's been self-employed since the age of like, pretty much me, like 1979. And yeah, so I kind of ended up following in their footsteps a little bit. That sort of segued into engineering because I had those ideas. I remember when I was little, I call it the fake fruit trifecta, and it was fruit by the foot, fruit roll up, and Gushers all in one box. And then like 2 years later, they actually came out with that.
Oh.
Yeah, and I didn't obviously have any part in it,
Uh-huh.
but it was definitely like, damn, I should keep
Like,
making these
exactly,
ideas
yeah.
if they're actually making them. Fast forward to middle school, I loved engineering because I could get those ideas and those creative concepts out in that way. Coming to realize how much math is involved in engineering, I segued away from engineering and moved towards writing. And the school I went to was fortunate enough they had some really cool classes like British literature and American literature, and being able to dive deep when I was in it, it felt really coerced and fake, and like we're trying to make something out of nothing. You ever have an English teacher who tries to put like meaning into everything? And everybody clowned him for it, but I really like, in retrospect, feel like he was my best teacher, and he really like showed me the path of what I want to do. December 2017, my old coworker where I used to work out at Cafe Zupas was saying, "Hey dude, you should come out to the show. Some of my friends are performing." It's called the Midway Axis in St. Paul, and I was like, okay, let's check it out. Turns out it's a house. It's like a renovated, like somebody just made it into like a little basement concert thing going on, and these guys are just performing, pouring their hearts out in front of like 30 people, like it's 30,000, and going for 2 hours.
True.
Yeah, there's like released music, but mostly unreleased, and it all sounded pretty damn good, and that really stuck out to me. I was like, somebody will have like one good song
Yeah.
or two good songs, maybe three, and these guys had dozens of good songs, and so I was like, I met them afterwards, and I was like, "Dude, you guys are super dope. Like, let me get your contact. I want to direct a music video." Because I was trying to think where my screenwriting could segue into my love for music. And segueing that screenwriting stuff into more directing of music, I wanted to be just the director. And they said, we don't really have a budget for just a director. Their cameraman said, "Hey Max, get a camera." So I got a camera for Christmas, and that's really how it all started. Christmas of 2017.
You've been grinding, man. You've been grinding. You came a long, long way.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, that is dope. I can already tell, like, cause you say your story like so easily, like you know what you're doing. I fucks with it.
Yeah, man, absolutely. it didn't feel like it was so perfectly unraveled until, you know, now it doesn't feel perfectly unraveled, but to others, I think they have that perspective. And I always feel like I'm grinding and I'm keep getting better, keep wanting to like
Exactly.
push myself. Like
Yeah.
I'm not at a place where I can just like live in the top floor condo mansion and like you know, work on my own terms and these things. So once I get to, you know, until I get to that point, I want to keep. I mean, even at that point, you know, I want to
Exactly.
still
There's
get
always
better.
more.
Exactly, and just keep grinding, keep pushing the envelope. You know, with better production. If I can do something cheaper, faster, better, or bigger, those are good things. I always want to do something I haven't done in some way. It is. I just met with my man Shy for the first time. I feel like I know him well already.
Facts.
We got some big things in the work. Sorry, what? Oh, 10 a.m. Vision.
Facts.
We out of here.
Shot world.
On some night.